So, hello everyone and welcome back to some more of the Dragon Age Origins here with Kite and Bruska. So, let's go to the second floor and, well, after one more peaceful night before the final battles against the Blight. And, well, a long march back to Denerim, of course, but nonetheless, all of that is going to be ahead. At least first there's the night to spend. And getting some informations about everything, as in what does it mean to be a warden, for example. Whose room is this? Guest room? But whose guest room? That's the guest room, I guess. Map of the occupied Ferelden. Interesting. An old map showing Ferelden as part of Orlace. Naturally, many such maps were destroyed when the Orlesians were driven out. Understandable. Arrows of Filth. Don't sound the nicest things. I guess I shouldn't be taking them, but it's in the guest room at least. I don't know exactly what that is. I guess it has to be some sort of a plant growing there. Still kind of looks weird. Looks a bit weird.
And I'm off.
Alistair is over there. Whose room is this? This is my room. I don't need to go there yet.
There you are. Let's go see what Riordan has to say.
Indeed, let's do that, Alistair.
There you are. Let's go see what Riordan has to say.
Yes, sir, Reese.
You're both here. Good. Please know I assumed you had already been told. Otherwise, I would have told you this when you freed me in Denerim. I'm sorry.
What is it? What are you apologizing for?
Tell me, have you ever wondered why the Grey Wardens are needed to defeat the Darkspawn?
I don't really know, other than, I guess, the idea that we can sense them. Yeah, either that or this... I assume it has something to do with the taint in us.
That is exactly what it involves. The Archdemon may be slain, as any other Darkspawn. But should any other than a Grey Warden do the slaying, it will not be enough. The essence of the beast will pass through the taint to the nearest Darkspawn and will be reborn anew in that body. The dragon is thus all but immortal. But if the Archdemon is slain by a Grey Warden, its essence travels into the Grey Warden instead.
Okay. And what happens to the Grey Warden then?
A Darkspawn is an empty, soulless vessel, but a Grey Warden is not. The essence of the Archdemon is destroyed, and so is the Grey Warden.
Meaning the Grey Warden who kills the Archdemon dies?
Yes. Without the Archdemon, the Blight ends. It is the only way.
Yeah. But it is indeed quite interesting. Like, of course I knew this sort of stuff in some sense, but I didn't actually remember that it was actually otherwise an immortal creature. Because it's not like you can remember all the details of a story, obviously enough. So, but it is very interesting how it is immortal, and then its taint just would travel to another Darkspawn, and it would be reborn again and again and again, no matter how many times it would be destroyed. So it's very interesting indeed, and interesting, I guess, maybe when the first Blight was around, maybe they tried to destroy it normally first, but then they realized that, yeah, there is this sort of a thing going on, and that's how they became to create the Grey Wardens, and when it worked, with Grey Warden killing it, then there was the solution that finally there was a way to deal with it. So it's up to the three of us to kill this thing.
In Blight's past, when the time came, the eldest of the Grey Wardens would decide which amongst them would take that final blow. If possible, the final blow should be mine to make. I am the eldest, and the taint will not spare me much longer. But if I fail, the deed falls on you. The Blight must be stopped now, or it will destroy all of Ferelden before the rest of the Grey Wardens can assemble. Remember that. But enough. There will be much to do tomorrow, and little enough time to rest before it. I will let you return to your rooms.
I will see you once the army is ready to march, then. I guess this ends soon. One way or another.
That it does, my friend. That it does.
Indeed, that is definitely the truth of the matter. Soon it will all be over. The Archdemon. In darkness eternal they search for those who had goaded them on, until at last they found their prize, their god, their betrayer. The sleeping dragon Dumat, the taint twisted even the false god, and the whisperer awoke at last in pain and horror, and led them to wreak havoc upon all the nations of the world. The first blight, Trenodius. The false dragon gods of the Tevinter Imperium lie buried deep within the earth, where they have been imprisoned since the Maker cast them down. No one knows what it is that drives the Darkspawn in their relentless search for the sleeping old gods. Perhaps it is the instinct, as moths will fly into torch flames. Perhaps there is some remnants of desire for vengeance upon the ones who goaded the Magisters to assault heaven. Whatever the reason, when Darkspawn find one of these ancient dragons, it is immediately afflicted by the taint. It awakens twisted and corrupted, and leads the Darkspawn in a full-scale invasion of the land. A blight. Urtemiel was once the Tevinter god of beauty. In ancient times he was worshipped by musicians, artists, and poets. The feast of Urtemiel was the grandest celebration of the year, an event that lasted a full 12 days. Plays and entire symphonies were written in his honor. Now he is maddened husk of his former self, filled with nothing but a desire to destroy all life. When the first blight began, many brave men and women threw themselves at Dumat, the first Archdemon, trying to strike him down. But no matter the numbers, no matter their strength, he would always return. This was proof, some said, of his divine power. But the Grey Wardens soon learned otherwise. Their tainted blood bound them to the Archdemon, and they could hear it, feel it, as it died and was born anew, its spirits drawn to possess the nearest tainted creature. The Darkspawn were mindless, soulless, empty husk of flesh that could be bent and remade in the dragon's image. But a man's soul was not so malleable. When a warden's hand struck a fatal blow against Dumat, the old god spirit was drawn to a Darkspawn, but to the man was not to a Darkspawn. Was drawn not to a Darkspawn, but to a man who had slain him. In that moment, the souls of both of the Warden and the Archdemon were utterly destroyed, and the dragon rose no more. The blight was over. Indeed, and it is quite of a creature it is.
You should get some sleep before morning. There will be much to do when the army marches.
That is true. That is certainly true. It's not like we have been looking forward to die this early on, but I guess it wouldn't be the greatest loss if we did. But still, not exactly that something we would have been looking forward to, but there is a sus way more for Alistair to live for than what we do in some sense. Like, yes, our sister is going to be missing us for a certainty if we would go and die, but at least she's doing fine where she is. She's the well, with Phelan now, so definitely would be able to at least do okay. At least do okay there. But Alistair, on the other hand, now even was made a king and all, so he would have a lot of responsibilities and a lot of things he is supposed to be doing.
All right.
For a certainty.
Do not be alarmed. It is only I.
Hello, Morikon. Morikon, is everything all right?
I am well. 'Tis you who are in danger. I have a plan, you see. A way out. The loop in your hole. I know what happens when the Archdemon dies. I know a Grey Warden must be sacrificed, and that sacrifice could be you. I have come to tell you that this does not need to be.
Okay. And how do you know about this?
I know a great many things. How I know is not quite as important as what I am offering you, however. I offer a way out. A way out for all the Grey Wardens, that there need be no sacrifice. A ritual. Performed on the eve of battle, in the dark of night.
Okay. Just, what sort of a ritual is this?
It is old magic, from a time before the Circle of Magi was created. Some would call it blood magic, but I think that means little to one like you.
What do you mean that it means little to one like me, the blood magic part? It is of course true that nothing comes without a price, obviously. And from where did you get this ritual, Morikon?
From Flemeth, of course. I have known about it for some time.
Okay. So you knew about the sacrifice before Riordan told me?
I did. Would you have believed me if I had been the one to tell you? I have my doubts.
Well, nothing comes without a price, that is obviously enough true.
Perhaps. But that price need not be so unbearable, especially if there is much to be gained. All I ask is that you listen to what I have to offer, nothing more.
Very well. What would be your plan, Morikon?
What I propose is this. Convince Alistair to lay with me, here tonight. And from this ritual, a child shall be conceived within me. The child will bear the taint, and when the Archdemon is slain, its essence will seek the child like a beacon. At this early stage, the child can absorb that essence and not perish. The Archdemon is still destroyed with no Grey Warden dying in the process.
So the child becomes a darkspawn? Question mark.
Not at all. It will become something different. A child born with the soul of an old god. After this is done, you allow me to walk away, and you do not follow. Ever. The child will be mine to raise as I wish.
I do wonder, like, what would come of that child. I guess I can talk nonetheless that I've never done this before, especially because when I've played with characters that have a relationship with Alistair, it just doesn't ever feel right for me to do something like that. Of course, it then always have meant that I've sacrificed myself. This time around, we don't at least have a relationship, so I could consider asking for such a thing, even though it's still a little bit weird considering Alistair is gonna be going and marrying Anora, although it's not something that has happened yet, and it's not like Alistair really likes her. This would be a lot more natural if you yourself would be a male Grey Warden, but it happening with Alistair is a lot weirder part. And it's still like, I don't have any idea, but I guess that's what would be known in the future games then. What exactly happens with the child? What does it mean that it would be born with an old god's soul, and like, would it then be also eternal, but then maybe it's a purified old god soul, so that it's just like maybe it's one way for Morikon to fight Flemeth if Flemeth will try to come back. Maybe it's, but I don't know what would be Morikon's relationship with the child to begin with, and how would the child be, considering it wouldn't be quite normal. Not quite normal, no. Wait, I want to know more about this child.
As you wish.
The child won't be hurt, will it?
Ignoring that after but one night it could barely be called a child, no, it will not be hurt. It will be changed.
Okay. Will the child be evil? What will it become? That is the big part, but I guess it won't be evil because, after all, if it would go into Darkspawn, yeah, it would stay evil the whole time. But this way, it's almost like a normal human, but the normal human already had a soul. A Warden already has a soul, and that's why they get destroyed, because they both already have their own souls. So it can't stay there. So they got just completely destroyed. This way it just kind of goes into something that is pure. There is taint, yes, but it's not completely tainted in the same way. So, yeah, evil, what will it become?
Allow me to say that what I seek is the essence of the old god that once was, and not the dark forces that corrupted it. Some things are worth preserving in this world. Make of that what you will.
It might be, like we believe into ancestors as dwarves, or like I believe into ancestors too, even if I hardly have any of my ancestors, because, well, I am as I am, castless, but still, who knows what sort of a asset or not that sort of old god spirit might be, if you just think about that who would it exactly be? What do you intend to do with the child?
I do not wish to tell you.
Okay. I insist. I do need to know a little bit about what you plan, Morikon. You call me friend, I call you friend. Surely you can tell me a little bit.
The child will represent freedom. For an ancient power, a chance to be reborn apart from the taint. Is that not reason enough to do it? I will raise the child apart from the rest of society and teach it to respect that from which it came. Beyond that, you need know nothing else.
It doesn't sound that bad. It is still a little bit worrisome, scary, but on the other hand, it could be very beneficial overall. What if Alistair wants to see the child?
I have no doubt he may, but he will not. It is all I ask for in return.
I see. Enough about the child then.
Then you have decided?
Not yet. So why Alistair? Why not Riordan?
Even if I thought Riordan could be convinced, he is unsuitable. I need one who has not been tainted for long. It must be him, and it must be tonight.
Okay. How do you even know this will work?
This is what my mother intended when she sent me with you. She was the one who first gave me this ritual and told me of what I was meant to do. This does not surprise you, does it? Did you not wonder why Flemeth saved your life? Why she aided you? This is why. What is important is that I am offering this to you now. It will work, and it will save your life.
I understand. I can definitely believe that from Flemeth. Flemeth has been around for ages, and at least Flemeth isn't quite that way around right now. But yeah, I don't know exactly what the plans would be, but with the child and all. But as such, I don't still quite understand why it would be me that would be saved. I would understand if I was male and I could actually do this myself, but I can't. Alistair then was definitely important. I guess just because I was thinking that maybe I could be how I interacted with them previously, that I could be then convincing Alistair too? Question mark. Maybe, possibly, because Alistair would be difficult to convince just by Morikon, that's for sure. So, you actually think Alistair will agree to this?
You will advise him to do so, and because he trusts you more than he would ever trust me, he will comply. Consider the alternative. If Riordan fails, do you think Alistair will hesitate? The future king of Ferelden? He will die the hero, and you will be overshadowed. Just a Grey Warden who accompanied the king. I think you have many good reasons to tell him to save his own life. I think you should consider them carefully.
Alright, I agree, I'll do it. This is the first time I'm doing this, so will be difficult to convince Alistair, I'm sure. But I am interested to see how this plays out in the future, and I don't think this is that far-fetched for us to actually plan to do now. Like I said, I don't have a relationship with Alistair. It would feel very weird to be asking such a thing if I did. But although there might be different reasons that then it might be a worthwhile thing to plan to do, but I don't think I would ever consider doing that then. But okay, alright, I agree. I'll try to do it.
A wise decision. I shall wait here then while you go and speak with Alistair. I urge you to be convincing.
I'll do my best. If I should or if I shouldn't. Codex updated about Morikon. Morikon's critical eye is not reserved solely for others, knowing or not. She has a simple fondness for chivalry and is very practical about her appearance. Yes, indeed. On the eve of battle with the Archdemon, she made an offer to the Warden, sire child with her, and she could use it to capture the Archdemon's soul at the moment of death, saving the Warden who struck the killing blow. Well, let me try to go and see about Alistair. But where is Alistair? That's definitely not Alistair. That's Riordan. Are you here? Yes, you indeed are. Alistair, I don't think you will like this.
I see you can't sleep either. I also saw Morrigan outside your room earlier, and the look she gave me. Ooh, that was icy even for her. Is something up?
You wouldn't want to know. You can't sleep? Are you alright?
Not really. All these men look at me and I see it in their eyes. I'm their king. Suddenly it feels so real. But now you're changing the subject. This isn't about me. This is about Morrigan. I'm tired, but I'm not stupid. What did she want?
Alistair, we need to talk.
Oh. I guess whatever Morrigan had to say, it's big. This is what I get for becoming king. Everyone always brings you the bad news. So what is it then? Rats running amok? Cheese supplies run low? I can take it.
Mm-hmm. You and I are friends, right?
Friends, I owe you everything. Even if you did go and make me king. Why? Why so ominous?
What if I told you there was a way to avoid dying tomorrow?
You mean with the Archdemon, right? If you mean running away, I can't do that, but you don't mean that, do you? What is this about?
Your wildest dreams come true. Sex with Morikon. That is a funny way to say it, so I'll say it.
Ha ha! Alright, that's pretty funny. Nice way to cut the tension. So, what's really up?
I'm actually completely serious. It's part of a ritual.
Cute. This is payback, right, for all the jokes? But you're not joking. You're actually serious? Wow. Be killed by the Archdemon or sleep with Morrigan. How does someone make that kind of choice? You're not actually asking me this, are you? What kind of ritual is this, anyway?
I won't lie to you. It will produce a child.
What? I must be hearing things, but are you telling me to impregnate Morrigan in some kind of magical sex rite? This child. Why would Morrigan want such a thing? Does she want an heir to the throne?
No. I think she wants to make some kind of old god.
Oh, well, that's so much better, don't you think? Here I was, worried about creating another bastard heir, and I didn't even consider that it might also be some dragon god, whatever. Look, even if I was willing to do this, and I'm not saying I am. Do you really think this is a good idea? You're my friend, but we're talking about Morikon.
I know. This would be natural for me to do too. But of course this is the most likely to succeed. But the right thing to do, I don't know if this is the right thing to do, but I don't know. I don't know what is the right thing to do. That's false. And I wouldn't say that. So this would be the way for both of us to survive, have our lives. And I don't think it should be too harmful for there to be this old god baby. As long as it is purified, and I presume it would be. Because if it wouldn't be, then this would be a very bad plan. But if it's pure, it can be normal, then maybe, if there is anything normal in old god, but nonetheless. But Alistair, you need to trust me in this.
Trust you? Very well. I do trust you. Oh, where is she? Let's go and get this over with before I change my mind.
Yeah.
'Twould seem your talk is done.
Great. So this isn't a dream after all.
What is it to be, then? Has a decision been reached?
Alistair has agreed to your request.
Wait. I want to ask about this child. The one you want.
Interesting. Honesty wouldn't have been my first choice.
I just want to be sure that you're not going to use this against Ferelden. That this bastard child of mine isn't going to show up some year.
Of that, you have my word.
Oh, why don't I feel any better about this? All right. Let's just get this over with.
I'll
Let
go
us
away.
go somewhere more private, Alistair, and believe me when I say you will not hate this quite so much as you believe.
It's very weird to see her like this, though. Alistair is kind of weirdly there too, to be frank, but... Well, unless Morikon tries to make him enjoy it, I'm sure. Well enough, at least. But it is still a bit weird. To be continued with Kidarusha next time in Dragon Age.